Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, man. Hey, first of all, before I even start talking about the Cowboys itself and our coaching staff, it just sucks to see, again, to see both the Eagles and the Washington Commanders in the NFC title game. Knowing now the Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the NFC conference with the longest drought of not making it to the championship game. How does that make y'all feel as fans? How do y'all feel? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like crap. It's like when you're watching this game, it's like, who are you rooting for? I don't want neither one of these goddamn teams to win. But I'm going to tell you this. If I had to choose, sorry, I threw it in my mouth. I guess I'll say the Eagles, because I guess because they've been there recently. You know, they lost the last time they went to the Super Bowl. They won in 17. Not saying they know how to act right, because you see how they are in Philly, jumping on trash cans and eating horse doo doo and jumping on bus stops and stuff like that. Yes, they don't know how to act, but I'd rather them go than the Washington Commanders, because of the simple fact that I'm tired of the Commanders already this year, because living here in the Washington area, you know, listening to the local radio, they do us. Those of you that don't live in the DMV, y'all don't know this, but they do a song, a cover of a rap song beat, and make a whole song about the Commanders every week this year. Every week they won, they have made a song, and I'm tired of hearing it. And this latest one, with the under the Kendrick Lamar "They're Not Like Us" beat, that really irritated me, because first of all, I'm tired of hearing the song, the original version, because they play it so much. But hearing that version really set me off, and I'm just like, it really makes me as a Cowboy fan feel like, wow, we got to get our stuff together, because when you transition into next season, we're going into a situation now where it's like, what are we going to do? Because we have to keep pace now with the Eagles and the Commanders. And of course, we know the Giants are going to get better too, because all they're going to do is keep getting draft picks, because, you know, they're probably getting like the first or second pick in the draft this year. We're picking 12, which is cool. We get to get some stock. But who's going to be on this coaching staff? And let's run into this real quick. Now, there's a consistency of Dallas Cowboy fandom people that don't like the hire of Shoddy, which I understand. I'm not too keen on it either. But, you know me, I'm going to speak on the optimistic side of things, right? And I'm going to talk about some things that maybe some people are not really talking about right now. When you look at this team and how we're constructed and the things that we're doing right now and the lack thereof, we're in a 30-year drought. And Michael Irvin even spoke about it. Shout out to Michael Irvin. And shout out to Brian Broaddus too, man. You know, he was the one that said that Mike Zimmer said that if Brian Schottenheimer is the coach, he's not coming back. We know that Schottenheimer is now our coach. He got hired yesterday, or I'm sorry, day before yesterday. Well, late Friday night, but you know how that goes. My thing is this. I understand the hiring of Shoddy from an inside standpoint, because Well, I'll get into that. I understand why we don't want him because he's probably like the 20th or the 30th candidate down that deserves a chance to be for a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I know a lot of people wanted Deion Sanders, but does Deion Sanders want to be here? How much are you going to have to pay Deion Sanders? What does it take to get him away from Colorado? There's a lot of these questions that arise. That's one. Two, I really think it was disrespectful to Mike Zimmer. They didn't even think about giving him an interview to be a head coach because Mike Zimmer's resume speaks for itself. We've seen what Mike Zimmer has done with his defense, even with the lack thereof of players. They had a rocky start, but they were coming back and they were doing things. And I would have loved to have seen Zimmer come back. But he said, I'm not mad at him. Because if I were him, I would just retire at this point. But it's disrespectful that they didn't even give him an interview. That sucks on the Joneses. Now, let's go into the inner workings of what's going on inside of this room with the Joneses. They're arguing within themselves. We know what Jerry Jones wanted. He wanted Deion Sanders, right? And that's what the fans wanted. It would have been cool to have Deion Sanders. But what has Deion Sanders really done? Not saying, and nothing against Prime. Prime is great. He was a great player. You know what I'm saying? I like what he's done with Colorado, but I mean, even with that, it's college level. You know, he still doesn't have an experience as an NFL. He's never been an NFL coach. So it's just like hiring another former player like Jason Witten and things of that nature. And I'll get into that in a second. When you look at this team right now, losing people like we lost. I in my last video I posted, I said that we lost Bones Fossil to the Titans. The Titans picked him up as their special teams coordinator. We just lost our wide receivers coach, Prince. He's going to where the hell is he going? I forgot where he went. But we just lost him too. I just read a report on that. And you lose Al Harris to the Bears. Now that one really hurt. Now, the wide receivers coach, I wasn't really, he can go. It is what it is. But I think the only coordinator that I'm sad that's really gone is really Al Harris, because I really wanted to see him grow and maturate within this organization and get to the pinnacle level, because these defensive guys, these cornerbacks, that was their guy, you know what I mean? And you lose that camaraderie when you don't have him there. But now the Dallas Cowboys are in a situation where they have to fill all of this, right? So you lose these guys, but you only fill 2 spots. You have your head coach, you have your defensive coordinator. The Dallas Cowboys have Brian Schottenheimer as their head coach / offensive coordinator. And then they have Matt Eberflus as their defensive coordinator. Now, I do like the pick of Matt Eberflus. A lot of people are like, some people that really don't pay attention actually don't know who Matt Eberflus is. So for those of you that don't know who Matt Eberflus is, y'all do realize that he was the Dallas Cowboys linebacker coach back when Sean Lee and them were here in his earlier days and things of that nature. I think he was the linebackers coach when Keith Brooken was here, I think. It was like, I think 2000, no, I don't think it was that far back. It was 2013 through 17, I believe, when Eberflus was here as a linebacker coach. And then he went to be the Bears coach. Now, a lot of people look at Eberflus, oh, he failed as a coach. That's cool, but he was a good coordinator. Some guys are not great at being see, it's different when you're controlling the whole team as to being a coordinator for a certain position, right? Some people are just good at their position. You talk about Dan Quinn, right? Dan Quinn was a terrible head coach when he was with the Falcons. He come to the Dallas Cowboys, go back to being a defensive coordinator, get his skills up, and now what? He's with the Commanders, and now these bastards are in the NFC title game. And the Commanders ain't been to the title game in a longer time than the Cowboys have. Cowboys ain't been since 95, and Washington ain't been since 91. And now the Commanders are finally in the championship game. With that same defensive coordinator that we let walk out the door, that same defensive coordinator that wasn't a good coach when he was with the Falcons. So, my point that I'm making is you have to start somewhere. We always criticize guys because it's their first time doing it, right? My caveat to that is, it's the same thing in the working force when you're out here working. You know, when you graduate college and you're trying to get a job and they tell you, oh, you got to have experience. How the fuck am I going to get experience if somebody doesn't give me the opportunity to do it for the first time? That's how you get your experience, by doing it or doing something in that realm to work up to it. Schottenheimer has 25 years of coaching experience. Those motions that we saw very few, that was Schottenheimer. I feel like Schottenheimer has a lot of innovative ideas that he wants to bring to the table, but he wasn't allowed to do it because Mike McCarthy was in control of all of that. Let's take it back. Dallas Cowboys philosophy, right? The Joneses philosophy. They hired Mike McCarthy. They kept Boy Wonder and told them, hey, Mike McCarthy, if you're going to be the head coach, Boy Wonder has to call the plays. But I call the plays. What do you mean? No, Boy Wonder got to call the plays. But they didn't tell him that until after he got hired. So it was like, oh, well, shit, I'm here. I got to listen to what they say. Then Kellen Moore leaves. He goes to the Chargers. Doesn't work out with the Chargers. He learns his mistakes there. He goes to the Eagles. Where are the Eagles now? In the damn championship game with the Commanders. So you see where I'm heading with this, right? Two former guys that you had on your staff are now in championship games. So if Kellen Moore, and trust me, I've talked my crap about Kellen Moore in the past, but I didn't hate him. And I don't hate Mike McCarthy either. I just think that a lot of the stuff that he's doing is bland, and he needs innovation. And as coaches get older, sometimes they get stuck in their ways. And I'm like, bro, you got to come with some innovation. This Dallas Cowboy team needs innovation. It needs players. You need a little bit of both. And I'm going to tell you how we can fix this in a second. Because we always complain about why we're not doing this and that, but what are we doing to fix it? Not a damn thing. Fix it. Figure it out. Figure out what the problem is. You see what these other teams are doing. I know the Joneses ain't blind. I know you can see what's going on. You see your competitors out there winning. Commanders are winning. The Eagles are winning. Shit, the Chiefs been winning consistently. You know why? Although they have an older coach, he listens to innovation. He brings guys in. Travis Kelce be like, oh, I saw this somewhere. Let's try this. Pat Mahomes be like, oh, I saw this. Let's try this. And they do different things because the coach is open to that. We are so damn stubborn over here. We just keep with this whole traditional old ways and not trying to be innovative. What I can say a positive about Brian Schottenheimer, although he hasn't been a coach for us yet, I think if the Joneses back the hell up and allow him to do his thing, I think that we can do some great things. You know what I would love, actually? And I know you guys are not going to agree with me with this, but I don't give a fuck. When Kellen Moore finishes, bring Kellen Moore back as offensive coordinator for you. And I don't know if he would do that. I know that when he interviewed, he probably was like, oh, you guys are not he probably wanted more money, right? And I think that was the issue. He wanted more money, and then they probably told him, oh, well, we're going to put Jason Witten on the staff and this and that. And I guess Kellen Moore grew some nuts and was like, you know what? I don't want that right now. And whatever case, I don't know if that's the case or not. But I heard some other YouTubers say that Kellen Moore didn't want the job. If that was the case, he wouldn't have interviewed. He definitely wanted the head coaching job. Trust and believe me, he wanted the head coaching job because James Slater put it out there. And also I think Patrick Nosey Walker said it too. He wanted to be the head coach, and he wants to be. But, they chose Brian Schottenheimer because the Eagles are still playing. They can't do anything with Kellen Moore until they lose. Now, right now, what we're dealing with, you got Schottenheimer. You don't really have an offensive coordinator, but he's still going to call the plays. But I feel like if you want some innovation, let them two work together, because although Kellen Moore makes mistakes and he's throw happy and stuff like that, I feel like him and Schottenheimer together, because they're younger guys, I feel like they and they want innovation. I feel like they can bring that to the table. And that's just me thinking optimistically, right? This is what we have, right? I know that, we wanted Robert Saleh and Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson didn't even want to come here. That's why he ain't even interviewed. He ain't want to think about the Cowboys. He went straight to where he at now. Over there with the Bears. Straight to the Bears. He went straight to the Bears. Those of you in DC know what I'm referencing. But anyway, what I'm saying is, that's it. There's no catchphrase to that. It is what it is. So right now, you have to just deal with what you're dealing with. And I just need the Joneses to back and let Brian Schotten, if he's going to be your coach, shut up. Let him do his thing. Let Eberflus, because I like Eberflus as a defensive coordinator. I'm going to tell you why. When he went to the Colts, during his tenure there, they were top 10 in scoring defense. They were top 10 in passing defense. They were top 10. Basically stopping the pass and stopping the run. Top 10. When Eberflus was the linebackers coach here, he was really good. I like what he did with the linebackers. The linebackers that we have here now are great. I'm loving the maturation of Maris Luafau and Overshown, and I know that he's injured, but when he comes back, and even develop more of Damone Clark. Get these guys in a position so they can win. And I think Matt Eberflus can do that. And he's a players type of coach. And I think that Micah and all them will love Eberflus. So I like that pick. I'm not worried about the Eberflus thing. We're a little skeptical about Brian Schottenheimer, and I feel like it's not fair to Brian Schottenheimer, because I don't think it's anything personal. I don't think anybody hates Brian Schottenheimer because it's him. I think that we were looking for Deion Sanders and looking for these other guys. I think that's what it is. We were so hell bent on the flashy coach, right? But I think Brian Schottenheimer is here because this coaching seat right here, a lot of guys don't want it because it's hot. Matter of fact, this seat ain't just hot. The seat warmers are on. It's somebody lit it on fire and you got to sit in it. And Brian Schottenheimer was like, shit, I'll take it. I'll take that opportunity to be the head coach here. I don't care. I have nothing to lose. Brian Schottenheimer ain't got nothing to lose with being the coach. Because if it don't work out in his 2 years, they can go bring in somebody else. And he's okay with bringing Jason Witten in as his heir apparent. Because if you do bring Jason Witten in, it'd be good for Jason Witten to be on the NFL staff as a tight ends coach or offensive line coach to build his skills up so he can eventually be a head coach. Because, Hall of Famer Jason Witten, I think Jason Witten would be a great NFL head coach in the future. Once he, understands the ropes of the coaching side in the NFL, I think that would be cool. I like that idea. But it's a placeholder, right? So, and that's what Brian Schottenheimer is. But if it works out with Schottenheimer, then okay, fine, cool. You still got Jason Witten on the staff. You can re-sign Schottenheimer if we start winning and doing well. So it's really, when you look at this situation, let's think optimistically about it. Hiring Schottenheimer is a low risk, high reward type of thing, because if it doesn't work out, fuck it. You can then go get the other person that you wanted at some point. But if it does work out, it's almost like thing where it's a low expectation, but you get a high outcome out of it. Who don't want that? That's wonderful. Let's get it. So that's just how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box. This is where we're at, so we just have to think positively about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know what Schottenheimer can do, but if he's allowed to do what he does, it's going to help Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott already knows him. A lot of things that he's trying to implement will help Dak Prescott's game because it's the strengths of Dak Prescott. Remember, I was telling you guys before, when you're coaching players, you have to coach to how your players play. Because if you're doing things against the way they play, it's not going to work out. But in this draft, though, you got to get 1A and 1B. You got to get a wide receiver. You got to get a running back, top 2, period. If you get that, and Schottenheimer becomes innovative and does some motion and does the things and does the things that help Dak play action, this team will start winning again. And we will be happy again. And we will be a force to be reckoned with. And with Eberflus on defense and getting that defense right, and Micah and getting a couple of pieces here and there, we'll be right back to where we need to be at. So just look at it that way, guys. Let's not. I know a lot of guys are hell bent and upset right now. I totally understand. I'm with you. But from the optimistic side, this is where I'm standing from. And just hear me out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your boy E2. Always keep it real. Peace out, y'all.